Right.
Yeah. So sure. What is your name?
Jason Martinez. Yeah.
Where are you from?
I'm from Holyoke, Mass. I was born in Springfield, but I didn't live here long, so I'm a Holyoke resident. Yeah.
How did you came to Neighbor to Neighbor?
Well, I know Jafet Robles. We met years ago in a halfway house, and I want to say about 4 or 5 months ago, he posted something on Facebook about the Jobs Not Jails campaign, the Justice Reinvestment Act, and specifically, the post was about mandatory minimums, and that was something that struck a chord with me because I had a really tough time fighting a case because of the mandatory minimum I was facing. So I reached out to Jafet to find out more about it, and he invited me to a meeting. I went to that meeting and heard more about the Justice Reinvestment Act, and it just hit the ground running. I was like, you know, if this is a bill that you're trying to push is taking place, I want to be a part of the whole movement that's going to make it happen. And I literally went to Washington, D.C. with him like 2 weeks after. We did a couple conferences like the one that that's about to take place right now. And this was like all in a matter of the first month. You know, I pretty much been running with him ever since. So
nice. So what is a challenge that you have faced in your life that brought you to Neighbor to Neighbor?
Well, yeah, like I said, you know, that fighting that case, you know, I had no prior engagement with the law, and to be uneducated about it and then go to court and have to find out what a mandatory minimum is the way I found out, pretty overwhelming. So if there's something we can do away with, that'd be awesome. So, you know, when I heard about them trying to put an end to mandatory minimums, I was just like, I'm all for it, you know. So that's basically the challenge, I would say.
Nice. So why did you become a member?
Oh. Yep.
So why did you become a case?
Oh, it's not hanging in there. Let's do it one more time. I'll do it from the top. How's that?
Nice.
All right. Why did I become a member?
Yeah, why did you become a member?
Just like I said, I reached out to Jafet just to find out about what that post was about, and I just became a member by default. I started like working with him, and then that was just my unofficial way of becoming an official member, I guess. So.
What is something that you have been part of it with Neighbor to Neighbor that made you feel proud of it?
Man, just the movement. I mean, their logo is incredible. I mean, like, the logo is a whole bunch of small fish that form a giant fish that's bigger than a big fish, basically showing like the power in numbers. And Neighbor to Neighbor is like one of these things that the issues they tackle. For instance, if I have this conversation with somebody else that's not in this room, or that's, you know, I walk down the street and somehow we spark this conversation, it's going to spark so much interest. They're going to be like, you know what? I want to be a part of that. And then before you know it, you have another member. And then that just happens so often that you end up with like this big group of people fighting one issue, and you're taking down the big fish. And I mean, just the logo itself is like powerful. And I think that it's an awesome thing. I don't know. I think that more groups like this should exist, or Neighbor to Neighbor should be like a nationwide thing, not just a statewide thing, you know.
What is your favorite part of Neighbor to Neighbor? What keeps you coming back to Neighbor to Neighbor?
The people, man. I mean, the passion. The people that I've met are so, how you say that? Genuine. Like, nobody's doing this with an ulterior motive, you know what I mean? Like, everybody I've met, like, they literally want to make change. So it's just awesome, like, to be around people like that.
what is your vision for the community you live in?
A level playing field. And what I mean is, I want a kid from the neighborhood I grew up in to have the same opportunity as a kid from Longmeadow, Massachusetts. You know, like, I don't know if you know, Longmeadow has probably one of the best educations in the country, but you can come 7 miles away to the north end of Springfield and you have one of the worst educations in our state. And I'm not sure where we fare nationwide, but it's, you know, it's pretty crazy. And I think that, you know, this is a step in the right direction. I don't know how big this step is, but I mean, if everybody was taking this step, this would happen a lot faster. So that, I would say that it's just basically a level playing field. And you know, social justice. That's basically what Neighbor to Neighbor fights for. So I think that definitely something that everybody should be a part of.
Nice.
Yeah.
Right.
Cool. Well, I filmed that whole thing. How do you feel?
We
about
can.
it?
I'm good at it. We don't even have to do it again.
But that summed up pretty much how you felt about it. You felt
Yeah.
Awesome. Great. We got it.
What are we doing?
You're a pro.
That's good.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. I filmed it just in case.
Okay. Yeah. I mean, I thought that's why you were filming it.
Yeah.
But
Awesome.